Yeah, it was good, y'all. We back. Ace Attorney time. Right where we left off. Turn the tides around with the jury. These brothers have been lying. Lying their ass off. So now we about to question them for more information. Lord Van Zeeks, you will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them. I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. Turned it around. I've won myself another chance to probe that pair, or their activities that night at least. And I won't stop probing them. I've proven that Gina's innocent. Oh. If I just waited a little longer. If I waited a little longer, I would have got to quit the thing. Wow. If I just waited a few more seconds. Order, please. Let us resume proceedings. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. It would have been perfect to end it if I just waited a few more seconds. I presume you've heard the defense counsel's summation examination?
Oh, yeah, Governor. I did, Gov. I did.
Mr. Skokin.
Oh, blimey!
This is going to be hard work. It ain't nothing we can handle. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered the banks.
Well, it was Bedlam soon as, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out me Lucy lockets.
However,
that was a lie.
You brothers.
Blimey!
On the night in question, you routed through the items on the victim's counter.
We never done nothing of the sort. How'd you figure that out?
Y'all are not good at this. You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question. And this time, you will tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. A thought worth pondering, perhaps.
Say no more, Gov. We hear ya. What blob? We'll speak it. We'll speech.
They're still gonna lie. The legal entry, the whole truth.
Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. It was when we heard the gunshot, see? Made us both jump and all the stuff went flying.
It didn't half give me a fright. It was thinking the shoot would come out the door and get us next.
We stuck everything back where we found it and scarpered straight into him in the black. You couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had the chance, did we?
Never had the chance. So you admit to the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Windibank's countertop on the night in question.
Not ransack, Governor, no. That's right, Nash, that's right. It's, more like we tied it up, yeah.
Don't play games.
I'm sorry.
By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good a mess.
The way you say, we hardly sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash, we don't. You make us sound a bit more...
Y'all don't get the cutthroat status. Y'all are bums. It just be a coincidence that these men showed up at Winterbanks that night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye. I'm sure of it. Let's get to the bottom of it then.
Hold it!
What were y'all looking for? Y'all were looking for something. Don't lie. If that's the case, then why did you testify to that effect in the first place?
Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? We ain't, Nash, we ain't. If we admitted to something like that, people would think we was up to no good.
Well said, Ringo, me old China. We'd only land ourselves in even more trouble. And in fact now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Landed yourselves in even more trouble.
That's rotten luck.
Says the rotten apple eater. Witnesses, explain your actions to the court. Why did you ransack the victim's counter?
We never ransacked nothing. Right, Nash, right. More like we tidied the place up.
We're not going to keep doing this.
Sorry. Hold it!
The way everything was put slightly to the side, you're making it sound like the whole counter went down, but everything was still like that, just slightly moved. So what you're saying is, the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much you knocked all those things off the counter?
Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah? This bag of nerves leaves the nerves to keep his shirt on. Look, it was loud, alright? Blimey. We dead granny would have woken up at that bang. Big brother screamed it. Big brother here screamed like a bloomin' baby and fell over on the counter. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. I got tangled in some marionette we knocked over, picture frame knocked over, and scales on the floor.
You really mastered working quietly then.
What a racket. Me granny would have been scared back into a grave at the clutter like that.
So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise.
And then some. I mean, it was quiet as a mouse, and then all of a sudden, bam!
What's good with you?
Excuse me.
Yo, Gregson, got something to add?
Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels.
Oh. Proceed then. No, something to add about their testimony? You seemed to react just now to what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something?
It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it, only... Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details.
How about you just tell us what's on your mind?
As you know, we brought these fellas into the yard for questioning last night. And the statement they gave then told a slightly different story to what they're saying now.
Oh! So you're lying.
Did it? You claimed you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot. Might have, Gov, might have. Does ring a bell now that you mention it. Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still.
A detail's a detail.
I can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, fellas.
If I discover the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them.
Easy, easy. We'll get it right this time. That's it, yep. It's all coming back to me now.
Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details have miraculously returned to your questionable minds, sirs.
Right you are, Gov.
Just before the gunshot, we heard her voice yelling out, give me that gun.
Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun!"
Hold it. So in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously?
We did, Gov, we did. Although, I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yell and all. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun! Bye! Kind of thing.
Career in acting. Tragically missed. Y'all had something going. And where were the voices coming from? Could you tell?
Of course we could. From the other side of that door, behind the counter it was.
In the storeroom where the victim was found dead.
And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Windybank. Who? Only Granny's life, of course it was.
Better not be lying.
On his granny's life, of course it was.
I didn't even read what that said. So that would mean that you both knew Winston Winterbank and the sound of his voice?
So that would mean what? What, Nash? What? Any ideas?
Yes, Counsel, indeed it would. Oh, y'all regulars. Regulars, huh?
No. We didn't know the geezer. How am I supposed to deny it when that bloke in all the fancy clubbers giving us the evil eye?
My eyes are closed. Hold on, my food is here. Alright, I've returned. Got Wingstop. And a fly got in here.
If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true. On me, Granny's life it is. On his Granny's life, it must be.
It's a good job, his granny's dead. She must be rolling in her grave, though. Every time.
To summarize, then, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then hear the gunshots, causing you to stumble and set the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor. You make it sound like we're clumsy.
You are.
Don't forget we tied it up after like good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it, that bloke what owned the place was holding the gun, so he should have fired. He should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl.
Oh, that was new.
Hold it!
That wasn't there before. You're saying that Mr. Winderbank had a gun in his hands?
Oh yeah, but that was a sight, eh? Then two waving them at guns at each other must have been pretty heated.
She had a gun too, is what you're saying. So there was two guns.
I mean, just before he shot it, we heard the geezer say, "If you don't want to get shot." Didn't really sound like he meant it, mind. More of an empty threat, you could say. Mr. Winderbank was known to keep a revolver in our shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. That someone being himself, of course.
True. It was always on him.
Good grief. Extraordinary devotion indeed, if alarmingly misguided. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only, the person he was going to shoot beat him to it. Quick as goose proper. But he wished he squeezed the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, "Give me the gun!"
And it was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot?
It was more or less the same. It was more or less at the same time, Gov. "Give me that gun!" Bam! Kind of thing.
Yeah, a career in acting. Very tragically missed.
Then we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck. Before everything went dead quiet. After that, we done a slapdash job tidying up the place. Hold it!
So what about you shooting us? So you didn't try to open the storeroom door then?
Not on her, your life. It went deathly quiet after that, it did. With the wind right up to me. But anyway, the door was locked, weren't it? In the way that was opening.
Yeah, of course it was locked from the inside. Or so we've been led to believe.
It was, Gov, it was, from the inside. So we'd have no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we?
Unless there was some other way to get a view at the inside of the storeroom. Like a window that is there. Like through the keyhole or spy hole, perhaps.
Don't ring no bells, don't light no lights. Yet it couldn't run before we noticed anything like that. Still cutting our teeth in this game, see? But one day... Huh. We're really custom mustard.
Please cut it out. But as we know, that behind that door was the victim's lifeless body, with the accused not 2 feet away. Yeah, unfortunately. Gina was in there unconscious, gun in her hand. But what does that mean? To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom?
That's right, Gov, that's right. Couldn't have, even if we wanted to.
Hold it!
Whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Let's not forget that.
Oh, yeah. It was a bit hasty there. We was, Nas, we was. Truth be told, I was already shaking like a leaf when you lot turned up. If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hand. Good advice, miss. Good advice. Truth be told, the mind went totally blank. Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand. Mental note made, miss. After that, we legged it down the street, but apparently he looked dodgy to the coppers or something. So they clapped the derbies on us like winking.
And after you'd been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct?
Well, yeah. But listen, that proves it done it, eh? We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had the chance, did we?
Hold it!
And why should we believe that?
What? Well, because it's true, innit? The place was totally empty when we went in.
At that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had a gun to his head. In other words, on the night in question, these 2 witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbrokery, Mr. Windibank. Correct?
You've got it, mister. Down to a T.
So the Skokin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Windibank. Is that really true? I wonder. That's where we gotta hit him at. That's it? That's the full extent of their testimony?
What is it, Reno? You look very fierce. I could pour you some herbal tea if you're tired.
No, thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh. I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something. Something important. It is nothing more than a feeling, though. No proof to support it.
Male feeling can be very logical at times.
Sorry?
People's expressions, the movement of their eyes, the words they choose. You can take all that in, your brain will quietly analyze it, come up with a feeling like you described. You've concluded that there's something suspicious about this testimony without knowing why, that's all. I think you should trust your instincts.
Aris, thank you. Sometimes I think if she's 10 years old, I must be 5. Damn, don't put yourself down like that. So y'all still had time to put everything back. I need to look at my stuff. Let me look at this again. Mr. Windenbank appeared to have used the back of this photograph to write out a redemption ticket. He's written it very neatly, but still. Perhaps he ran out of paper, so had to use anything he had to hand. It's hard to know what's the front and what's the reverse side now. This is an adorable little cat. I think it looks a little like Wagahai. I always thought that cats like to curl up inside under the heated kotatsu blanket when it snowed. Maybe British cats are different. Actually, now we have both pictures. Oh, we don't have to do that again. Do we? So I need to cross my eyes and try to get the two cats to merge in the middle as one. It's such a hard thing to do. Whoever thought of this in the first place must have spent a long time staring. Why are we doing this, Ryu? Just wanted some entertainment? I don't think. This isn't relevant.
Hamburger perishes in pick-purse plunder. How awful. Virginia, I mean.
Leaving sugars? But tomorrow's headline will be Discharged Divers, Dauntless Do-Gooder, right?
Yes. Something like that, if possible. I'd like to go even bigger.
Bigger, how?
Proud pickpocket protects planet post-trial.
A lot of P's. Protects planet.
Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow. It's gonna be so great.
What's going on here? Oh.
There's a sensation stories lower down the front page as well. Look. Ministry Mall? Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice.
For a 10-year-old, Iris certainly has a finger on the pulse of world news.
About secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently they're being intercepted by hostile nations.
Communications are being intercepted. How would somebody be doing that?
That's the question, isn't it? I've come up with 3 different possible methods so far. Are you looking for a new career room now?
No, of course not. I wonder. Perhaps this is what Lord Strongheart was talking about yesterday.
Yes, it could be. And it could explain why he has Grexy running around from pillar to post at the moment.
Huh. Updated. Updated info. This is not relevant. This isn't relevant. Isn't there a window on the door? We already looked at that, right? There's nothing else related. So what happened to the lamp? Hold on. What happened to this lamp?
You have to pop your 2 prints in here to start with, you see?
And then when you look through the eyepieces, you can see the image in 3 dimensions.
The important thing to get right is the position of the 2 prints.
I don't know who came up with the idea of a stereoscope. It's really quite fascinating. Can we not use this again? Can we not use it?
Hold it!
Let's go back to that statement where Gregson. What was the statement Gregson commented on? It was this one.
Hold it!
This is where we gotta hit him at.
Hold it!
Let me go through this again. That's a lie, though. That has to be.
Hold it!
How do you know this? They're so silly and stupid. everything back where we found it.
Hold it!
Hmm.
Hold it!
We already went through this one again.
Hold it!
We never had a chance. They had to have encountered him. That's what we gotta prove, right? That's what we gotta prove. But what do we have that says that? Let me look through this. There's something here. I mean, there's a 30-minute difference here. Is this where we're going with this?
Hold it!
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. There's a 30-minute interval. It's not like they arrived at 1:30. I'm not confident in this though. None of this is related. Same thing. This is her story. The Hound of Baskervilles. The Hound and the Naruhodos. Why would you do that? Is there something in there? Maybe? No. This isn't related. All I got is the photograph.
Objection!
Nope. Let's just consider the implications of that statement for a moment, shall we? What implications, Counsel? Nothing strikes me about it. Exactly, there's nothing striking about it. What does strike me is your propensity for the insane, however. Clear my head. There is a 30-minute time period here.
Objection!
And that's just not it. There was a damning inconsistency, that last statement. Damning, you say? As I look at you, Counsel, I see your trembling hand, your pallid expression, and your perspiring brow. Huh? It seems to me that is the damning inconsistency here, with the misplaced confidence of your insertion. Why he roasting? He has a damning tongue. You invited, sir. Popsy?
Objection!
No. Alright. Alright, I'm a little stumped here. I'm a little stumped. What am I missing here? Is it the lamp? It has to be the lamp.
Objection!
Nope. It's not the lamp. He only had one bullet.
Objection!
What am I missing here? They all had to be close to the door, right?
Hold it! Hold it!
What is the statement, first off?
Hold it!
It's a sight. It's that statement right there that's getting me. I don't think it's that statement. It might be it's one of these last
Hold
ones.
it!
We're getting the most information out of this. Oh, let me throw this away. I'm not gonna lie, this one is cooking me. Or I might just be overthinking it.
Hold it! Hold it!
I'm missing something heavily here. Did I just overthink it? Cause she had the gun, right?
Objection!
Oh my gosh, I overthought it so bad. I overthought it so bad. I overthought it so bad. So it was this. It was one of these statements. I was looking at this one. Because he said it was a site afterwards.
Objection!
Alright, here we go. My fault, y'all. You're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windibank, was wielding a gun, is that correct?
That's right, Gov. You got the picture. He has, she has, no question.
And yet the photographic evidence from the time of the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windibank was not in possession of a firearm of any description.
Objection!
You surprise me. Does the defense really intend to highlight evidence that compromises the position of the accused even more? Furthermore, the defense has failed to establish that the photographic print presented was taken a suitably short time prior to the victim's death. Your chronology is severely lacking, Consul.
Yeah, that's right. You're right, Nash, tonight. The old geezer could have been about to turn the tables on the go, eh?
Hardly likely. No, I'm afraid this won't stand as conclusive evidence. Continue with the cross-examination, Counsel, and heed my warning earlier, witnesses. Okay, we needed that.
The skulkin's never skulking.
Hold it!
If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun. Okay, hold on. We needed that first one.
Objection!
Don't make no sense to me.
Hold it!
There's only two guns. The one y'all had, and the one he had. I'm just throwing stuff at the wall now.
Objection!
I just gotta throw stuff at the wall. I'm lost.
Hold it!
Hmm. I gotta see this again.
Objection! Objection!
Chronology. You don't have that picture of Gina. Just throwing stuff.
Objection!
Nothing. Where's that window? Hold on. It's in this picture, but not the other one. Hold on. There's something going on there. There's something going on there.
Objection!
I'm gonna have to take this L. I'm gonna have to take this L. I don't know. I'm gonna have to take this L.
Objection!
I gotta take this L. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't know. I don't know.
Guilty!
I thought I had
Guilty.
something there.
Guilty! Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty!
Wow. I haven't lost an Ace Attorney in a while. Okay, we press this again.
Hold it! Excuse me.
I've got no other inclinations of anything.
Hold it!
There's no other inclinations. That I'm seeing. Let me do this again.
Objection!
Get that knocked out of the way. I'm surprised nothing opened up from this.
Objection!
I'm surprised nothing opened up here.
Objection!
I gotta throw stuff again. I don't know. What am I missing, dude? What am I missing?
Objection!
Don't know. I don't know. This whole page section is nothing. It means nothing. Oh man, this is rough. This is real rough. I'm gonna have to look this up. I'm gonna have to look this up. I don't know. I had to look it up. Sadly, I had to look it up. I didn't know it. I didn't see it, man.
Objection!
Take it away. I didn't figure this out. The bloke who owned the place was holding the gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. So what you're saying, that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windermere, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? So I used the picture last time, but that didn't work. So we're using this picture.
That's it, Gov. You got the picture. Yes, no question.
And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows. Oh my gosh. If they gave me the picture of Gina, I would have had it. That's the reason. If they gave me the picture of Gina, I would have sent that one. That Mr. Windermere was not holding a firearm of any description.
You what? Gordon Bennett, that ain't right.
Objection!
There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Windermere's gun was found at the scene. If they gave me this, I would have used it. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand.
Yeah, that mole tucker used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun! Bam! Kind of thing.
Hold it!
Stay exactly where you are, right there.
Huh?
If the crime had taken place as you so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out. Goodness, are you sure, counsel? You intrigue me, my learned friend. But let's see some evidence to support your claim.
Where is the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments?
Because he died immediately. Instant death.
Take that!
According to their testimony, the witnesses claimed to have heard a shout of "Gimme that gun," followed by the gunshot. Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe. Yeah, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. Ah. So as I stated before, there is another undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. Skulkin. That took too long. That took too long. I struggle with that.
But it's the God's honest truth. It is, Nash, it is. When we was shot that night, the shopkeeper had a gun in his hand. We saw it with our own bleeding eyes.
You did not. Did I hear you just right? You actually saw Mr. Winterbank holding a gun?
Like, that might have slipped out.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question they actually saw, with their own eyes, the victim holding a gun. Which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person. There we go.
Nash,
Order! Witnesses, explain yourselves at once.
well, the thing is, it was supposed to,
It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you. Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies?
I'm so sorry, Governor. Truth is, see, we, cut it out, Nash. Cut it out. If we blab now, you know what it'll tell us, what it'll do to us.
He? Who are they talking about? Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you.
Breath, come on. Game's up. I'll have a guts for starter.
In case it hasn't sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out. On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place.
Well... do we have to?
On pain of death. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth. Encounter with the victim.
Alright, so he just got inside the gaff and there was a sigh of relief and the geezer showed his mug. Give me that gun, he bellowed. And then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we had it.
So it was to y'all.
Oh no, geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. Chucked me over the counter.
Y'all had a scuffle with him.
I pulled me gun on him, and then he legged it through that door in the back room. So y'all were robbing him? We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's what what happened, I swear. So y'all were robbing him. So now you're telling us that moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop. Well, yeah? Sorry?
Well, we find ourselves in an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably.
But honest, Governor, this time, Nash, this time, we ain't got nothing more to hide.
Very well, counsel for the defense. You may proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for.
Hold it!
Let's get him. When you say geezer, I presume you mean the victim and the proprietor in the shop, Mr. Winterbank?
Who else? Sorry. I mean, that's right. We was keeping a close eye. I bit my tongue. We was keeping a close eye on the entrance to the gaff, obviously. We never thought no one was gonna come out of the back room like that.
The back room being the pawnbroker's storeroom?
Yeah, that must be where he popped from. Only place he could have been.
So it would seem the victim was already in the storeroom where these brothers entered the premises.
Which means Ginny must have been in there at that point as well.
That doesn't make sense, does it? If Gina had threatened Mr. Winterbank into the storeroom with her at gunpoint, then why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived?
Oh, I don't know.
Did you see the accused at that time?
What? That Martella? Couldn't tell ya. No way, Kaba. We had a big fish to fry then. I mean, the old geezer just lost it.
Hold it!
Y'all surprisingly didn't shoot him. You mentioned that Mr. Winterbank shouted those words in your previous testimony too. However, you claim that you heard him yelling them on the other side of the storeroom door.
Oh, did we?
The truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he?
Well, yeah.
Was the victim Mr. Winterbank wielding a gun at the time?
Was he ever, blimey lummy, a great ugly barrel he had, pointed straight at me, frontispiece.
So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Winterbank with the gun at that time, is that right?
It is, Gov, it is. Spot on. Then all of a sudden he came at us. He did. It was bedlam. I didn't know who was going for who.
You were clearly all going for each other.
Like Nash said, we thought we'd had it. I mean, one old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over the counter.
And is that why
Hold
stuff
it!
got moved? I noted that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony too.
Well, yeah, of course we did. We knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. I got tangled in some marionette and what knocked over a picture frame, what knocked them scales on the floor.
So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter?
Well, Big Bruv here went flying over that counter like a gunshot, I can tell ya. Then the old geezer pinned him. He did, Nash, he did. If you hadn't been there, the bloke would have flattened me like a bloomin' pancake in seconds.
At that time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via secret cable from the pawnbrokery. There is a button under the counter used to activate it, which was presumably pressed by the victim. That's right, when the brothers fled the scene and back onto the street. They ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they?
Poor Mr. Winterbank. He did everything he could to protect the shop.
Hold it!
pulled your gun on him. Were you intending to shoot Mr. Windemic?
No, never. I was just, you know. Looking for you, me. Looking out for me, bruv. Weren't I? He was being flattened, don't forget.
My man, his shop was being burgled, yes. And then?
And then, the man fled into the storeroom when you pointed your gun at him, is that it? Yeah, that's it. He shoved me away, then ran off through that door and shut himself in.
Something about that last remark. Something that doesn't quite ring true.
I wonder why Mr. Windemic ran away into the storeroom.
Because he didn't have his gun. What?
Well, according to what everyone's saying, Jeannie was in there waiting for him with a gun. With a gun.
Yeah, that's right. Gina allegedly used Mr. Windemic's gun to threaten him to force him to open the storeroom door. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Windemic's hand again?
I have no idea. That is strange, isn't it?
This little inconsistency could be significant. I should make a mental note of it.
Look, the point is, me and Bruv here. That's right, Nash. That's right, me and Bruv here.
Hold it!
Never had nothing to do with killing him. You say you had nothing to do with it?
Nothing at all. Nothing, Gov, nothing. The old geezer went and shot himself in the back room, didn't he? Locked it was from the inside. We knew it was because we tried to open it. But it's a decent door, that one, good and strong, wouldn't budge an inch. So in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Inside the storeroom with the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim. The accused Miss Gina Lestrade.
It would indeed appear so. What say you to that, Consul? I don't know. Was there anyone else apart from Gina who could possibly have shot Mr. Windemic? Not yet. There was no one else. He's right. Gina's the only one. There was no one else in the room.
With an attitude like that, Runo, it really will be all over.
Not 10-year-olds is reading the expression on my face.
Well, you just don't have that many. Wide-eyed, sweating, smug, and happy. That's about it.
Surely there's more than that, isn't there?
Anyway, I think you might want to reconsider some other possibilities here. Or rather, I think you have to. Otherwise, we won't get anywhere. Or rather, you won't get anywhere. I'm just here for more support, remember?
And it's at times like this I really appreciate it the most. So I gotta go for it. So that's all these brothers are willing to reveal this time, is it?
They're still hiding something, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm sure of it. Not just a minor detail either.
It was almost certainly because of those two that were Mr. Windemic. Well, you can't let him get away, Runo.
I know. I get the feeling there's even less evidence at my disposal this time to prove that they did it.
We've come so far. Now it's time to finish him off.
Well, I'll do my best.
Hold it!
So y'all tried to get in after he locked himself. It could have been just bluff. Mr. Skulkin.
What? What's that look for?
From the moment you admitted that you encountered the victim face to face that night, the course of this trial changed completely.
It did? What is your point, my learned friend?
The question we must answer is, who could have shot Mr. Windibank? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all. We are on the chopping block now.
You have my attention. In that case, let us return to this plan of the premises.
If you shot through the window, you would be shooting him from the back.
Their victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts. So pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could it be?
And you could be shooting down. You could also be... The autopsy said it was a... Look at it again. Rising diagonal trajectory. It could also be a falling diagonal trajectory. They could have been shooting down. Could have been shooting down. But that doesn't explain the one bullet.
You must now provide answers to the court in respect of two conundrums.
Two? My lord? That's as many chances to be right, maybe.
Indeed. Namely, from what location did culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time?
Understood, my lord.
Are you alright right now?
Not entirely sure. There's one thing I am sure about. I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened. It would change Gina's prospects hugely.
So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on this plan the answers to the question posed by his lordship. If you believe someone could have killed the victim, indicate where that person could have fired the gun.
Out here. Full send. The defense believes that the corporal could have shot the victim from this location here.
And an answer to the second question. Assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at the time?
Full send.
Take that!
The culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom.
Continue.
Mr. Windibank died instantly from a bullet in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death, which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired?
So you are adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom?
Well, according to the Skulkin brothers' earlier testimony, he did pull a gun. Mr. Windibank ran away through the door. We have to assume that the door was open at the time. Mm-hmm.
Ah!
It was at precisely that moment when the victim was fleeing for his life. Bam! That these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the storeroom.
Nah!
And then Gina closed the door. Oh, wait! Wait a minute. Hold on. So wait, if they shot him, that means Gina shot back. Gina shot back. She shot back. And it hit Sholmes. That was the bullet that hit Sholmes. Not theirs. In self-defense.
Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial? Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory.
Could be a falling one.
It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself.
Or it could have been a short guy. His ass.
Poor man. Shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety.
Of course. He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it still would have entered his body on an upward trajectory.
There we go. So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Windermere.
Objection!
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. You claim the victim was shot as he fled from the room. You also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock.
But what if someone else locked the door?
Yeah, there is someone else who could have locked the storeroom door. Is that so?
We're here now.
Very well then, Consul, present your hypothesis to the court. In the scenario just described, the defense's assertion is that the victim was shot from the outside the storeroom. In which case, who shut and locked the storeroom door from the inside?
Gina.
Take that!
Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Objection!
That's absurd! You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room? For what possible reason?
Protection.
Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck. I'm inclined to agree, I must say. Well, Consul?
Yeah, that's a tricky one, that. Isn't it?
Half-baked notions have no place in my courtroom. Counsel, remember that, please.
But of course Jeannie would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it?
Common sense for protection.
It does.
Well, if I was Jeannie in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Windermere were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at that time, but at some point, Mr. Windermere must have heard the intruders break into his shop and left the storeroom.
Intruders? That's rough. That's rough.
If your theory is correct, that will leave the accused alone in the storeroom.
Yeah, it would. Then, probably only moments later, the victim fled back through the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Hit in the back by a bullet, Mr. Windermere fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment?
I see where you're going with this.
Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who just murdered Mr. Winderbank. As soon as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life. You don't get to hold it.
But we ain't the ones who done it. We ain't, Gov. We ain't. You gotta believe us. I mean, come on. We'd never shoot no one.
Objection!
That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would, because before my own eyes. No. Use your logic. If that's the case, they shot at Winderbank. Gina shot back, and it hit Sholmes. You shot Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. There's only one logical conclusion here. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have been the perpetrators of Mr. Winderbank's murder. He's about to call us out, though. He's about to call us out.
You mean to say it wasn't the pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker at all? I should have known it was those brothers.
What is he even saying? Zeeks, go ahead and call us out. Go ahead and call us out.
That was amazing, Runo. The members of the jury seem to be finally on your side now.
No. First time ever. Probably the last.
Well, I think you've done it. Surely they'll have to give a verdict of not.
An admirable effort, my learned friend. Call us out. There you go. What's this now? He's laughing. You find this situation amusing, Lord Manzix? I myself find the defense's argument most persuasive. Oh, you haven't seen it yet. I dare say. Such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation. Such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here. What are these words? What? The hypothesis you put forward is so ostensibly, credibly cannot and will not stand. Because you see, it contains a fatal flaw. A fatal flaw? Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failings? I say, Lord Van Zix, might be an idea to explain this body conjuring trick or whatever it is to the troops on the ground, The fatal flaw in my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets. George, count bullets?
Oh dear. He noticed then.
Huh? What's everyone talking about? Counsel? Yes, sir? Tell the court how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime. Two. 2 bullets. Correct. You know math. The first that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. And the second that which struck the detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, on his arrival at the scene. Indeed. The defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet early in the proceedings. The bullet which injured Mr. Sholmes appeared to have passed through his body to strike the calendar. Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are 2 firearms involved in the incident. The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Windibank, and the Skokin brothers' revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun. Are you doing the math? Indeed it does. A single bullet from each. Now then, my learned friend. You yourself told the court only moments ago that these 2 brothers shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes right before your eyes. Yeah, I did. Oh my goodness, I think you'll find. And if a single bullet was fired from the brother's gun, hit Mr. Sholmes, it means...
When the bank not shot by the same gun. Stop. Only 1 bullet, stop.
Exactly. Yes, this Nibney street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. It was never anything more than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny. You got me. Order. I don't need this anymore. Pray, forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of this hallowed nectar into the public gallery. Lord Van Zix? But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can regrettably no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding current citizen. She is a past riddled with criminal conduct.
truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with loathsome intent. As we can see beyond the doubt, in this print which depicts her threatening the victim with the murder weapon. Oh boy. And I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present. That disc. Yup. We knew that was coming into play. We knew that was coming into play. But Sholmes has a copy as well. That music box disc. McGill's music box disc. The very day he wrote a hateful murder of Mr. Winterbank, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her. And with none of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add, but by brute force and brazen impudence. Good gracious! Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on the account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this girl will not stoop, if pushed. No crime she would not commit. The court forgets that fact at its peril. I see. I think it would be prudent to take this music box disc into evidence, counsel, as a grim testament to the defendant's character. Oh! Lord Van Dix, I am... Inspector Gregson? What? Yes, Inspector. We had a meeting yesterday at the yard with the prosecution service, and, I think it was agreed that this is going to be used as evidence. What's this all about? Why's the inspector acting strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Van Zieks at all. I am unaware of any such meeting. But those were the instructions, right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent. Inspector, I am the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you. The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord. Indeed. But the game is freezing up a little bit. Ba, ba, ba. It's not just a game. No, please, please, please. I might have to do a reset. Let me save. That was scary. Music box disc. For McGilded. The prosecution has established the accused motive, opportunity, and baseness of character. There is nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case. I don't believe it. I had a jury on my side for once for all of 5 minutes.
Oh dear. It wasn't even for 5 minutes, Runo.
My lord. Wonder if I might say something at this point. Proceed, Mr. Foreman. Been stumbling about in a bit of a fog up to now, if truth be told, but all of a sudden... The answer is barely obvious to me and my men. There's only one thing for it. Oh no. Very well, the court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will present your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty.
Shit.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Just like that.
flipped it back around, just like that. But listen. She shot back. She shot back, and it hit Sholmes. That's what happened. That is what happened. We have a consensus among the jury, it seems. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
That's my line. I wrote that for Hurley. Ah, how dare you use it against us?
Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more to this case than we realize. There must be, because there's one thing I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windenbank, that's it beyond any doubt. Very well. We will proceed with the second summation examination of the day. Mr. Foreman, are you and the other jurors ready? Garadev's squadron is primed and ready for action, sir. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty. Number 2. Once a rogue, always a rogue, I say. Different breed to us law-abiding citizens.
As only 2 bullets were found at the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted.
You don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it, it was that pickpocket. I never imagined that simple operation would cause me such grief.
The accused attempted theft on the previous day. I can see I'm in for a busy day ahead.
I am ballistics expert. I have seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns. Huh. Really now? It would seem there is little remaining room for doubt. I have to admit, I was rather bowled over by the argument put forward by the chap in black. When that fell apart like a house of cards, I saw that I'd jolly well be underworked. Well, no more. The whole courtroom is turning against me.
It's not fair.
Iris?
That prosecutor's being mean. Just because Jenny's done some things she shouldn't have done in the past, that doesn't make her a murderer.
I've got another glass now. Allow me to savor this fruity vintage, while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Here's to the truth coming out, eventually. No words? That's enough preamble. Counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Got this. Yes, my lord. Let me get some more water. I know the route. I know the route that we gotta take. I know the route.
Hold it!
Just because Miss Lestrade has a history of pickpocketing, she must be guilty of murder. Is that what you're saying? Well, are all members of the British Army so quick to judge? I beg your pardon? Are you mocking Her Majesty's Armed Forces, the greatest military organization in the world? No, I'm simply illustrating my point. How judgmental you are. Making assumptions about people because they're a soldier or pickpocket is wrong and dangerous. Well, yes, might have a point there, I suppose. But let's not forget the girl had already shown she had it in her from before. She's clearly a criminal sort through and through, can't deny it. And you say that she's shown she had it in her. Are you referring to this? Exactly. Tried to swipe that only a day earlier, Or am I mistaken? Not exactly. Given that I was actually there at the time, it's hard to refute that.
I've never actually seen the real thing. Can't wait to have a closer look at it.
Oh yeah, of course. Because we had the cookie version. Sholmes did use his caramel bars to make a copy of the disc, didn't he? And then ordered every type of music box he could find from across Europe.
We still don't know what tune it plays though, do we?
Hey. Iris, shoot it.
But I'd love to see how the original compares to Hurley's copy.
The Gilded's disc. Could it be a clue somehow? Perhaps we should examine it in more detail.
Oh, Bruno, look! This is blood!
You're right. Just a small smear, but definitely a blood. Actually, I feel as though I might have noticed that before.
Then it's my time to shine again. I thought I'd be waiting forever. Alright, hold still with that disc, Bruno.
Can we get this done quickly, Iris?
In a flash.
What color is it? Green. Huh.
Ooh, a lovely bright shade again.
That's Herlock's. That's Sholmes.
What is it?
It's just that green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it? There's our evidence. There's our evidence right there. That proves that she shot Sholmes.
Poor McGilded. That's the man you defended in the court a couple months ago, isn't it, Bruno?
Yup, or rather mistakenly defended.
I wonder what his name is doing on the back of this disc.
It's a question I'd love to know the answer to myself. We got our evidence. We got our evidence. We got our evidence.
Hold it!
It's the number of bullets that has you convinced.
Only 2 bullets were fired, and the 2 guns that fired them have been examined by the police. When the parlor maid asks me how many are invited for dinner, I always tell her to count the table settings.
Well, that's logical, I suppose.
Although,
Yes?
sometimes after dining, crockery does go missing. 1 or 2 guests rather like the fine china.
Does your employer dine with thieves?
So I suppose, if there was another bullet somewhere of which we were unaware, I'd have to reconsider my position.
A third bullet somewhere in the scene? Could that be... I can't prove that. I can't prove that. Fortunately, only 2 bullets were discovered by the police during their investigation.
Yes, I know.
Right.
And I don't imagine the good men of Scotland Yard would have overlooked anything. If I missed a bullet while I was cleaning his lordship's office, well, I should receive a sound scolding, I don't doubt.
And he should receive a visit from the police, perhaps. Like a crime scene to me.
A third bullet.
It would completely turn things around if there was one, wouldn't it?
Do you think we might find one lying around somewhere?
Hold it!
So if I've understood correctly... Alright, so there's the bullet that went through Window Bank. The bullet that's lodged in... the wall. And went through Sholmes. But if there was a third, where would it be? If I've understood correctly, you need two pictures, a left eye and a right, slightly different right eye one. Yeah, exactly. Then you can see the scene in 3 dimensions, like this. So if we have 2 bullets, I don't suppose you can see anything useful with them? I think you'll find that no matter how much you squint, the truth of the situation always looks the same here. The only person who could have shot the victim is that girl in the dock. How can you be so sure of that? Think about it. The Skulkin brothers shot the great detective, didn't they? Yeah, that's been mentioned once or twice. Well then, surely it's coming into focus now, is it? It's a waste of time. I'm not going to change this man's mind anytime soon. He's not even here.
Hold it!
Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with this trial, sir? The defense's life is on the line here. Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say that it has nothing to do with this trial, to be honest. Oh, this has to do with Sean. Oh! Are you Sholmes' doctor? Huh? I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet has simply vanished from his stomach. It's quite inexplicable, don't you think? What are you talking about? I almost don't want to ask about this surgery you've been muttering about all this time. You were operating on... What was the fellow's name now? Herlick... Herlock... no... Herlock? Herlock Sholmes. By any chance? Yes, good lord! It was that Herlock fellow! What? You're the surgeon that operated on Mr. Sholmes? That's right, they're using the very latest anesthesia techniques, I might add. It was a fairly major op, I can tell you. This is crazy. Let me see, the fellow was brought in not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. They said he'd been shot by some criminal or other, so I opened him up like a shot. But the funny thing is, I went over his insides with a fine-tooth comb and couldn't find a blood anywhere. So I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands and just stitch the fellow back up. We know where that bullet is. I hate to say the obvious, but... yes. Surely that's because the bullet is still at the scene of the shooting. The counter for the defense is correct, as is clearly shown in the photographic prints. The bullet that the Skulkin brothers fired at Mr. Sholmes hit him in the stomach region, then exited his body and lodged into the shop wall where the calendar was hanging by the door. I think you'll find it's really quite simple if you just consider the... I think you'll find it's really quite simple if you just consider the problem three-dimensionally. Why are you mentioning that? Huh! What do you think I am, son? Well, juror number 4 is about the best I can do. As soon as I saw the wound to the man's stomach, I flipped him over. Like a pancake? Are you saying that you checked his back? Of course I did, and there wasn't a trace of injury. No sign that the bullet had left the body at all. Huh. What? That's the point! The only logical conclusion was that the bullet was still somewhere in the man's innards, which is exactly why I set about slicing him up. And I'm still none the wiser even now. How many times do I have to say it? Can someone explain how it happened? Can someone please solve this mystery? It's almost as much of a mystery as how this jury was put together. There is an expert over here.
Hold it!
What do you mean you're in for a busy day?
Forgot to say stop. Do excuse me, stop. I'm a communications officer. Stop.
Communications officer? Does that have something to do with sending telegrams?
Everything from personal messages written by members of the public to the latest news in the capital. I convert all the messages into Morse code and tap it out to the entire world electronically.
It's the entire world.
Thousands of miles of cable under the sea. Stop. Worldwide communications network. Stop. Information is transported to and from all corners of the globe. Stop.
Yeah. She was getting equally worked up about radio waves or like before, wasn't she?
I specialize in communicating information from government departments and newspaper offices.
I see.
I'm sure I shall have to wire the newspaper reports of today's guilty verdict later. So no sleep for me tonight, I imagine.
Let's just finish the trial first, shall we? This is not useful.
Hold it!
Alright, you're important. I thought you were just a tourist. Good day, I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. There's no way he's just a visiting tourist. So you're a ballistics expert. Who knows? I have much experience with guns. Huh. I have lived through many. How do you say, extreme, violent, no, blood,
Extreme violent bloodbaths, perhaps?
those extreme violent bloodbaths. English is very difficult tongue. Considering the sort of people you associate with, I'm surprised you still have a tongue. Anyway, if you have questions about bullets and guns, you ask me. There is nothing I do not know, no mystery I cannot solve. Very confident in his knowledge of guns, that's for sure. But if possible, please, only in Russian language.
He's not very confident in his knowledge of English, though, is he?
No? Still should bear it in mind. He's our man if there's a mystery about guns or bullets. We know what to do. Van Zieks has managed to convince everyone.
When you have eliminated the impossible, he said. But he hasn't.
We're gonna fight back, we need more material. We have to fight back. We have to turn this trial around again. I got you an expert right here, buddy.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict the idea that all I do is pit jurors against each other.
But this is expert.
Pitting. P-I-T-T. On the night in question, Mr. Sholmes was shot by one of the Skulkin brothers. But since there was no sign of an exit wound on his back, we must assume the bullet didn't pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore, a bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot. Juror number 6. Hello, my name is Villain. My name is Villain. You're the villain? Pleased to meet you. This is apparent contradiction in the facts. It's so clearly troubling juror number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery? I have seen very similar situations in Motherland. It was night. It was blizzard. I was running away long mountain road in freezing cold. Golly! The snow was piling high on both sides of the road. It was very narrow and dangerous. I love this sprite actually. My pursuers had hunting rifles and they were on dog sleds. Mental note, don't ask too many questions. I was shot from behind and fell down the snow. And this situation was very similar to what I hear today from doctor. They could not find bullet in my body. No sign of, what do you say, exit wound. Then where did the bullet go? It grazed. Bullet never hit me. Well, if it never hit you, why did you fall down? Bullet hit frozen wall of ice very close to my side. What? One small piece. Shrapnel. One small piece. Very sharp.
broke away from a lump of ice and pierced my body. It made a deep wound that looked just like a bullet wound. Good gracious. Of course, a piece of ice quickly melted inside me, and that the solution to mystery of disappearing bullet.
Whoa.
But that doesn't answer the question at all.
Shooting happened in a pawnbroker's shop.
Not in some snowy mountain road in another country.
Just an idea, but we might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here.
Bruno, where exactly was Hurley shot again?
Well, according to the report, in his stomach.
Sort of around this area, I think. Well, that's precisely where he always wears a little pouch on his belt.
Oh. Pouch. Actually, I might not have noticed something like that.
Yes, a pouch. It's where he keeps the 3 glass vials with very dangerous chemicals that he uses in his investigations.
What? Really? Doctor, where's the pouch Mr. Sholmes was wearing?
Well, the fellow had nothing like that on his person when he arrived at the hospital, as far as I remember.
If I may, what was this? While I realize it is forbidden for the prosecution to interject during a summation examination, I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question in the antechamber outside the courtroom.
Oh, thank you. What?
As I understand it, when the police arrived on the scene and found Mr. Sholmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess its wound.
Ah, thank goodness. I thought I was getting forgetful for a moment.
Since then, it has been in my safekeeping along with all other evidence relating to the case. And I can personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred. Very well, while extremely unconventional during a summation examination, I must demand the prosecution present the item in the question with all speed. Bring forth Mr. Herlock Sholmes' pouch. We need that. I see. Glass. So this is the pouch worn by Mr. Sholmes on the night in question, is it? Look at that. One of the files is broken and the leather around it is scorched black. It's almost as if the file exploded. Exploded? So that night, the bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch. And it was the glass file exploding that caused the fellow's injury. This bullet did not penetrate victim. It was deflected into wall of shop. A delightfully complex aroma. Well, it would appear one mystery has been solved at least. Though it has no bearing on the truth of this case. Huh? The bungling and burgling brothers shot the detective, and the accused shot the pawnbroker. The pertinent fact of the case remains unaltered. We're getting closer, though. But at least the mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man. Thank you very much. Glad I could help. Due to its bearing on the conundrum just solved, the court will sequester the scruffy pouch as evidence.
Hurley's pouch isn't scruffy.
Now the summation examination. It would appear the defense is somewhat struggling to alter opinion. Please, my lord, a little more time. After all, that's a new piece of evidence. Could be a valuable clue. You can't afford to overlook anything here, Ryu. There's still a way to turn this around somehow. I'm sure of it.
Let's look at it. Look at that bullet hole. It's really scorched badly just here.
Oh, the strap is broken. Look.
This must have made a bullet hit then. Let me see. Oh! There's a third bullet! There's a third bullet! What the? Iris, look! Behind where the broken file was. Do you see it?
That's the Skulkin Brothers bullet.
The stroke of luck that it hit his pouch. This is an amazing discovery. What this means is, there were 3 bullets fired at Windenbanks that night. We found exactly what that juror was talking about.
The third bullet.
It's time to press that juror again, I think. Nice. This is exactly what we needed.
Hold it!
There's a third bullet, ma'am. Allow me to show you then the third bullet. Take that! Here it is. We discovered it just now. Yeah, on the night in question in Windenbank's pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired.
Hold it!
What is this new trickery, you Nipponese conjurer? Where did you find that bullet? It was lodged inside Mrs. Shum's pouch. This pouch was removed from around Mrs. Shum's waist before he was taken to the hospital. And since then has been touched by no one. Do you mean to say the shot fired by the Skulkin brothers that night? Yeah. As your lordship surmised, it hit his pouch. But that makes no sense whatsoever. We already know the whereabouts of the bullet fired at Mr. Sholmes. It's clearly visible on the photographic print. Oh. 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted into the courtroom as evidence. Yes, that of Mr. Windenbank and the belonging to the Skulkin brothers. An examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet had been fired from each. But that must mean... That's right. We now know that on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. That changes everything. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene. Do the math, y'all. And until that incontrovertible inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment. Order! While the summation examination remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. Facts that would appear to shake the very foundations upon which the case against the defendant has been built. As is my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. But, Jupiter! What? Bailiff, bring the witnesses back to the stand at once. Ooh. We got questions, buddy. Witnesses. Governor! Were you listening to proceedings while the defense carried out the summation examination?
We was, Governor, we was.
Perhaps you can dispense with the tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A third bullet has been identified at the crime scene of the crime. What do you make of that?
Make of it, Gov. I don't make nothing of nothing if I could.
Is it one of yours?
Go blimey, not a chance.
In that case, did you have an accomplice?
What? What? Never! The Skulkin brothers work alone.
Y'all have a third brother.
It's just the 2 of us. That's our trademark.
How soon we forget poor Sulky. Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms we have in evidence. The third bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it?
Blimey, that's an head scratcher.
Counsel for the defense. Yes. I should like to hear your thoughts regarding these new developments. The third bullet, and the mysterious missing firearm from whence it came.
Thinking back over all the testimony we heard, and all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture. A picture of what really happened that night. My lord, I think it's clear what this third bullet tells us about the Skulkin brothers. They had another gun. On that night, at Windham's Bar and Brokery, the brothers must have been in possession of another gun. We know that only one bullet was fired from each of the two firearms, already in the courtroom record. The logical conclusion, therefore, is that the brothers were working with an accomplice. An accomplice who was carrying a gun. An accomplice, you say? Pigsville. What the fuck does that mean? These protracted proceedings have already forced up to his door 2 summation examinations. Yet in all that time, there has not been a murmur of a third man. If this apparently Wraith-like being exists, the court must be shown hard evidence. Without it, this fantasy will be crushed. The prosecution demands answers on 2 counts. Firstly, proof, evidence that this accomplice was ever at the scene of the crime. And secondly, the identity of this spurious character. The Skulkin brothers are lying. I know that. But how can I ascertain the identity of the person they're hiding?
Well, counsel?
I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice, and reveal the person's identity, even. In response to the prosecution's demands, my lord, the defense is... Shit. Well, we know this isn't Sholmes. This isn't Sholmes' blood. That's not Sholmes' blood. The defense is ready. I believe I can provide all the answers the prosecution demands. So, my Nipponese friend, despite the swimming eyes, you seem to have something to say. This promises to be interesting. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every single piece of evidence available to me if I make a difference.
In that case, counsel, I would ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night in question, in the moments leading up to the death of the victim, what proof have you there that there was a third intruder present at the scene? I'm going for it.
Take that!
Take that!
The evidence is right here. In this portfolio.
By Jove, that portfolio again, is it?
Do you expect the court to rifle through your papers itself? Be more specific. You claim one of these blood samples proves the presence of this third intruder. Well, which one is it?
Take that!
Right there.
What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint of such like around the bullet hole in the middle of the calendar.
That's a bloodstain, my lord.
Bloodstain? Green blood? Curious, even for you. Are we zombies now? Is the court to understand the intruder was some unhuman creature?
It's something developed by Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
By the great detective?
New invention. Stop. Not yet appeared in story. Stop. It's this, you see. It doesn't have a name yet, though. This fogger spray is a chemical that reacts with the different elements in people's blood to change its color.
Different elements of people's blood.
Yes. Everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made up of different elements. So by seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is.
Oh, that brings a whole extra dimension looking at blood.
Talk of blood in courtroom, stop. Very exciting, stop.
As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Winterbank. Ah, striking blue. Yeah, so you see the green color of this blood stain on the calendar? So that somebody else was shot in the main part of that shop. Now hold fire, young man. Could be from some unrelated incident, couldn't it? No. No, it's not unrelated. Look at the date. The date showing on the calendar is the date on which Mr. Winterbank was killed. Like jolly! Don't try to pull a fast one. Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day.
Whose blood is it?
Well, the Skulkin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of somebody else. Third intruder, in fact.
Objection!
Whose identity the court is still waiting to hear? You cannot delay this any longer, my learned friend. Who is this alleged third intruder? Edgar Benedict? Go for it.
Take that!
Go for it. The man's name is Edgar Benedict. Don't laugh. Edgar Benedict? Who on earth are you talking about, counsel? He paid a visit to Winterbank's pawnbroking on the afternoon before the incident took place, when the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing this article to their possession. That's right. The man identified by the defense, Mr. Edgar Benedict, then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force. The JoJo's character. I knew he was coming back in eventually. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The JoJo's character. Inspector Gregson was there at the time and can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc. Can you corroborate this account, Inspector? Yes, my lord. That's more or less what happened. And in the interest of being thorough, I asked Winterbank for a print showing the fella. Taken from one of his red-handed recorded gubbins. That's him talking to Mr. Winterbank that morning. And you claim this man is the brother's accomplice. Well, Mr. Skulkin?
Never seen the geezer before in my life. On me life, Gav, on me life, never seen him.
Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion. I'm sure your lordship recalls my learned Nipponese friend's actual assertion, which was that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice. Yes, and I can. Then show us the evidence.
I agree. We must see proof that the clean-cut gentleman in the photograph is the filthy criminal you say he is.
This is it. It's the last piece of evidence. I've had a feeling that something has been missing in this child from the very start. But now I'm going to drag it kicking and screaming into the courtroom. Are you ready to present your answer to court, counsel? Yes, my lord. The defense will present the evidence now. Proof that the man pictured in this photograph was in fact the person struck by the third bullet. great question. It's the bullet that was fired from the Skulkin brothers' gun on the night.
So it turns out it never actually entered Hurley's body at all.
It's the thick leather of that pouch he was wearing. It saved him.
Hurley's always lucky like that.
Oh, considering what he had to go through in the hospital. Wonder how lucky he really was.
Oh dear, poor Hurley.
There's a hole here at the back. Doesn't look much like a bullet hole. Clearly something's ripped through the lever with great force.
Something must have pierced it somehow to have left this hole behind it.
Looks like that way. The Sholmes and his pouch both took a beating, didn't they? Do I have the evidence? Is it a disc? Was it the disc? Is it the disc? Review scene.
Take that!
Yeah, I'm okay. I almost overthought it. As I mentioned before, on the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted deceitfully, admittedly, to reclaim this disc from the Windbanks. Which is when the aforementioned Eggard Benedict appeared on the scene, I believe. This man attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, no? That's correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. It was following this that a minor incident occurred. Pose. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Being a music box disc, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions over its surface. I'm going to use his blood. Those protrusions caused Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed, and the resulting smear of blood is still visible in the disc now. Goodness, a blood stain, is it? My assistant and I have just analyzed the blood stain here in this very courtroom.
Using my trusty fogger gun.
Yeah. We added the results to this portfolio. I say,
It's green. It's exactly the same color as the blood around the calendar.
the evidence is conclusive. The man calling himself Mr. Edgar Benedict, who was in Winnebank's earlier in the day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime that same night.
So there was someone else. Those brothers now, they're sweating buckets. Oi, what are you talking about? It's boiling in there.
My lord, it is the opinion of the defense that Mr. Edgar Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify. It would certainly seem that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence.
Objection!
This has gone on long enough now. This flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of law. Sherlock Sholmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. The protagonist in a series of short stories for the vulgar classes. A god of detection or some such. And now you employ chemical substances divided by this fantastical persona in the highest court in the land. Do you expect us to take you seriously? Samples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. So the bloodstain turned a shade of green. What's of it? Here's to you successfully proving that no other blood in the world will turn the same color. Well... Then pray, do not even think of suggesting that we should take Mr. Sholmes' word for it. Oh, shit.
Is he right? Is Mr. Sholmes' concoction a load of rubbish?
I don't know, I mean, he's a great detective.
What are you talking about? We can't let him get away with that.
And it would come to this. Of course, Mr. Sholmes' invention isn't going to be recognized by any official body. What other choice did I have?
I'm just remembering what Father Christmas over there said before. About how he was temporarily suspending the summation examination. In other words... The examination isn't over yet, is it?
Good grief. What did you just say, young girl?
And in the summation examination, the decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? So the way I see it, it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Hurley's invention. At least, not for now.
You smart girl. Clever. That she's right.
Young lady, you have quite a devious mind.
It really just comes down to one thing. Whether these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you say, Runo. Is that about right, would you say? Or did I misunderstand something?
Unbelievable. You are goated. Your brain is working wonders. I gotta save right now, though, because I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back. This is getting juicy.
Alright, I am back. I have returned. I'm gonna be ending it pretty soon. My voice is getting real scratchy. Getting real scratchy, so. Let's continue. Mrs. Shawn's partners are forced to be reckoned with.
Iris Wilson, sharpshooter.
You deserve that title. After that shrewd percease of the situation from an entirely unexpected source, it must be acknowledged that the previous summation examination has yet to reach its conclusion. This is absurd. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks to you for your final leanings in this matter. As proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you will come to fair and just conclusions. It's all on y'all now. So then, state your final decisions in turn, please.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Yes.
Not guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Not guilty.
Lovely. Two call guilty and 4 call not guilty. Such is the outcome of this summation examination.
Objection.
My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. The prosecution refuses to accept this decision. On what grounds? If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender to real police work, then they are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of anyone's guilt. I'm sorry, Lord Van Zieks, but the outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. This trial will continue. You tried it, buddy. Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested the subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that will be impossible. What? The name the gentleman gave for himself, Egbert Benedict, is quite clearly false. I don't believe it. Just when I managed to prove the man was there that night. Could I say something? Who was that, please? Who spoke?
It was me, my lord.
Chair number 5. What have you to say, madam?
If possible, Inspector.
Huh? Me, ma'am?
I wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again. The one in which the gentleman is shown.
Alright, yeah, this one you mean? Mr. Benedict. Do you recognize him?
Yes. There's no doubt in my mind.
Chair number 5, you don't mean to say... You know this man?
Yes, I know him.
What? No. Good gracious! Order! Juror number 5, how on earth?
I am a communications officer. Stop.
As we can clearly see,
The gentleman in this photograph is... Stop. Also a communications officer. Stop. He works in my office. Stop.
really now.
A very talented operator, in fact. Stop. He should be in the communication station now. Stop. Typing away on the telegram. Stop.
This doesn't seem right somehow. Can't put my finger on why, but it doesn't feel right.
I suppose we all imagine the accomplice will be some sort of hardened criminal. It's a bit unexpected to find out he has a respectable job by day, whatever he gets up to at night.
Suppose that's it. Suppose that's why I felt something was wrong. If the gentleman is at London's communication station, we should be able to subpoena him within the hour. Lord Van Zieks, if you please. Yes, my lord. Make the necessary arrangements with all haste. As your lordship bids. The court will recess for 1 hour.
When a new witness arrives, we shall reconvene to hear the gentleman's testimony. Inspector Gregson,
Yes, my lord.
I should like to hear from you specifically about events at the pawnbrokery on the day in question. Come to my chambers during the recess.
Yes, sir, my lord.
Very well. Court is adjourned until 1:40. Lunchtime.
We're getting the JoJo's character in here. Knew he had something to do with this.
Ma-na-na-na-ra.
Lovely. Alright, I'm gonna end it here because my throat is scratchy. And I've been voice acting a whole bunch. But we got who we want. We got who we want here. We got who we want here. So thank y'all for coming through. Appreciate it. I will see y'all when I see y'all, man. Nighty night.